Monk mode. This is my first video, aside from podcasts and whatnot. So what the fuck is monk mode? Monk mode is a period of time you dedicate yourself to a set of rules to maximize your productivity, mental state, and overall life. To improve your life, achieve a particular goal, put yourself ahead of the competition, or just to instill discipline. So I'm just going to talk about my particular monk mode, because there are a lot of people who use monk mode for different things. Their version of monk mode is tailored to their specific lives and will obviously differ from others. So I use monk mode to hyper-focus on developing myself all around, whether it's business, education, spirituality, fitness, or just being a social person. And the biggest part is just to supercharge my mental health. And here are the 10 elements that I have put together for my monk mode. Number 1, you want to eliminate distractions. And the biggest way to do that is to get rid of anything that gives you instant gratification and unnecessary dopamine. The biggest one, social media. I uninstalled all social media that doesn't benefit me or my business particularly. So I've logged out of all personal accounts. If I do use social media, so for example Facebook and Instagram, I still have them installed on my phone and use them on my computer, but it is strictly for business, posting content, that kind of thing. No mindless scrolling, no short form content. So TikTok, it's gone. YouTube Shorts, not about it. So video games, it was the biggest issue for me because it is a waste of time. It's very addictive. It, interrupts my sleep patterns. I would be playing video games ignoring the fact that I'm fucking starving, and I would use it as a reason to not go out and socialize with people. So it made me really antisocial. Video games for a lot of people are just a way to escape their reality. Their lives are so messed up that instead of going to fix their problems, they level up a video game character instead. Another thing is Netflix, television, anime, etc. Again, it's a waste of time, it's very addictive, and for me, it interrupts sleep patterns, and it's not good. And then also hanging out with friends to do pointless shit. This one can be very controversial. For me, it's very important because there's nothing wrong with having friends, especially nowadays, especially if you're hanging out in person and whatnot. But if you're just going to hang out with friends that are just going to, again, do the things that I highlighted here, play video games, watch a movie, just pointless bullshit. I don't know about you, but hanging out with some of my friends in real life used to be just, sitting around, taking turns playing a video game. Meanwhile, if you're not playing the video game, you're just scrolling through social media, showing each other funny, stupid bullshit videos. And then occasionally watching a movie, throwing on some anime. It's fun, but it's pointless. So in monk mode, you're focusing on your goal. You're focusing on improving yourself, and you're focusing on not wasting your life. Number 2, exercise/fitness. If you have a healthy mind, you will have a healthy body. If you have a healthy body, you will have a healthy mind. You cannot have one without the other. I don't know anyone who does, because when you go to the gym or just, work on your fitness, it improves your mental state. So they're two sides of the same coin, essentially. If you do have a healthy body and a healthy mind, you will have increased discipline. Your confidence will be much better. You'll have more energy, more strength, more stamina. You'll have a better physique. And again, your mental health will be good. So personally, I go to the gym. That's my exercise. I do weight training, I do cardio, and I also do sauna too. That's really huge for mental health. Occasionally I'll go jogging. Martial arts is on the to-do list. It's kind of a matter of time. And then home workouts, push-ups, pull-up bar, yada yada yada. Then bicycling, cycling, hiking, just going on walks, anything to raise your heart rate and get you outside, get your body going and burning calories is really important. Number 3, quit addictive substances. This includes, for me, alcohol, weed, vaping / nicotine, party drugs, and psychedelics. Alcohol numbs the brain. It makes me feel like utter shit, especially the day after. And it destroys muscle growth. Weed, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, weed's not addictive, I can quit whenever I want. That's most likely cope. Weed is addictive. I don't care what you say. I smoked that shit for 10 years. I said the same thing. I didn't realize how addictive it was until I decided to quit. Now, I mean, there are going to be people who occasionally will smoke, social smokers, and that's fine. I mean, if that works for you, that's totally fine. But for me, this is my monk mode. So, no weed. It increases estrogen, which lowers your testosterone. As a man, you need testosterone. It makes me complacent, which basically means that if shit is fucked and I get high, I'm like, okay, shit's fucked, but I'm high. I don't really care. I'm not going to change it. It makes me complacent, which overall makes me lazy because I'm not willing to change something. So, it also makes me antisocial. It gives me anxiety, social anxiety. So, I remember the last time I smoked, I felt terrible. I felt like someone was trying to kill me for some reason. And granted, I smoked for 10 years, a whole decade in my life, every day smoking. So it just got to the point where I was just really anxious and did not talk to anybody because I was terrified. So it just made me real antisocial. And then it also made me really fucking stupid. Like there'd be times where I'd be sitting there trying to figure out something and then my mind would go blank and then I would literally be trying to figure out what I was trying to figure out. Like, it just made me really stupid. Like, if you smoke weed, you'll know what I'm talking about. There'll just be points where you're talking, and then you'll just be like, the fuck am I talking about? So, it made me stupid. Then vaping. This one, a lot of people are not going to like, because this one was probably worse than any of the other two for me. Because it destroyed my appetite. It was always there, always readily available. So if I was hungry, nicotine addiction is like a second hunger. So to scratch that itch, that craving, you would obviously hit your vape. But it feels like a hunger. So if I was hungry, I would hit my vape and I wouldn't feel hungry anymore because I would itch. I would scratch that itch of a craving. So it destroyed my appetite. I could literally go hours, even a day, without even thinking about eating because I would have my vape. So it made me lose a lot of weight. It made me look like shit. Another thing is it ruined my libido. Like, I'm a horny person, so when I was vaping, I was still kind of horny, but it made it feel like, this is going to be kind of graphic, but the erections I had were nowhere near as, let's just use the word, great, as they are when I don't have nicotine or vape particularly. So it fucked up my libido, and it just makes everything else, or it made everything else very addictive for me. So, for example, video games. It just accelerated how addictive it was, because video games itself are addictive. So I'd be there playing a video game in between, matches or something. I would die, so I'd hit my vape, and it was just that dopamine, and then more dopamine, and it was just real bad, real bad. And yeah, social media and TV, same concept. Like, you'll be sitting there scrolling fucking TikTok or something, hitting your vape, and be like, and then you just waste hours doing that shit. So basically what I'm trying to say, sober mind is key. There's a reason you feel something. You don't want to numb that feeling. You feel stuff for a reason. If you're sad or depressed, you're sad and depressed for a reason. It's probably because you're unsatisfied with where you are in life. So fucking change it. No coping. Number 4, get sunlight every day. At least 1 hour. This is what I strive for. With sunlight, it gives you melatonin. So overall, it'll improve your sleep. I don't know if you've ever played like a soccer game or done something outside, like a picnic or something outside for a long time, then you finally get home and you're ready for bed. So that's the melatonin. Like, it improves your sleep, makes you sleepy. Then also vitamin D from the sun, it helps with bone density. It reduces the cortisol in your blood, which is the stress hormone, and it increases your testosterone as well. So by proxy, it's going to fight depression and improve your mood. It actually increases, it's been proven to increase your life dependency. I think by about 2 years, if you get a good amount of sunlight. They did a study on it. Then obviously you'll get tan and beautiful skin. So, and I make sure to set time aside every day for what I call my Zen hour. And it's going to be a combination of the next 2 steps, which is breath work. Long and deep breaths, not short and shallow. Breathing is the most important thing that humans do. Most of us suck at it, because if you think about it, you can live for up to around 2 weeks without food as long as you have water, and you can live for up to 3 days without water. With oxygen, breathing, I think your brain dies within 5 to 10 minutes of no oxygen. So oxygen is the most important thing for humans, and obviously breathing is how you intake oxygen. So focusing on your breathing increases your focus, and it makes you more present in the moment. So in the nose, out the mouth, it makes me feel relaxed. It makes me more present in the moment. So it gets more oxygen in your blood if you take long, deep breaths as opposed to short and shallow. So this is something that I've been working on for past couple weeks, especially because once you realize how important and how effective, like, just focusing on your breathing, like, especially if you're stressed out or you have a lot on your mind, if you just take a couple seconds to just breathe full deep breaths, you'll realize that shit doesn't really have to be that stressful. So yeah, more oxygen in your blood. It increases your energy due to the fact that there's more oxygen in your blood. And one of my favorites is it helps you correct your posture. So if you take a second, do some breathing, you'll just naturally, sit upright, good posture, and it's good for your spine. So, and that's what I pair with sunlight. That's part 2 of 3. And then for the third and final part of my Zen hour is meditation, being meditative. So it's kind of all meditation in a sense. I mean, when you think of meditation, or at least when I think of meditation, I think of some monk on a rock, just sitting there in the sun, just with his mudra and just breathing. It's kind of all the same, but it's not at the same time. So meditation, just being meditative. You can be meditative really in depends on what you're doing, obviously, but most things you can be meditative. So reading is being meditative, just being focused in the moment. Driving, you can be meditative. But meditation, just focusing on something, whether it's visualization for me or breathing. So focusing on something and trying your hardest not to let your mind stray away from that is what I feel like is most important in meditation. So I take at least 10 minutes every single day and I visualize the future or focus on the present. I never worry about the past. So future and present is key. So if you're meditating, focus on the future or the present. And the best way to focus on the present is focus on your breathing. And being meditative and meditation overall improves your focus, again, makes you more present in the moment. It increases your patience. Again, I meditate for at least 10 minutes every day. And when I first started, I was sitting there and I was just getting real impatient. Like, when the fuck is this timer going to go off? And over time, I noticed that I didn't care, like, when it went off. So it improves your patience. It's kind of crazy. And it calms your nerves. And then for me, focusing on my future and just visualizing everything does real good for my motivation. So if I'm sitting there visualizing everything that I want in the future. When I snap out of my meditation, I'm like, okay, time to get it, because I saw it. It was mine, so I want it right now. Number 7, learning. So with me, when I have no distractions, when I'm not playing video games, when I'm not mindlessly scrolling social media, when I'm not watching a bunch of bullshit, there's a lot of time and a lot of opportunity to be productive, aside from working, because that's really all I do. When I'm not working, I am learning, whether that's reading books, watching educational videos, or listening to educational podcasts, because progress is success and success is happiness. So if you're constantly learning and improving yourself, you will feel proud of yourself, and because you're progressing. And overall, you'll feel good about yourself. You'll be happy. So education will increase your value as a person because you have more skills and you can provide more value to the marketplace, whether it's work or just helping other people, or overall makes you a smarter person, makes you more wise. And if you're constantly improving yourself, you will just open up more doors for yourself. And it also inspires and, again, instills more motivation, because if you're reading, especially reading, because when you think about it, books are just compilations of, in many cases, people's lives. Like, they'll live 70, 80 years, and when they're old, they'll write a book documenting everything they've learned over their life, and then you can buy that book for $10, read it, and you've just absorbed knowledge from a whole lifetime. So it's really inspirational, and it instills a lot of motivation. Number 8, cold showers, ice baths, cold plunges, whatever. Overall, it instills discipline, because no one wants to jump into anything cold. We are warm-blooded creatures. We do not like cold. So you want to train your body to do whatever the mind desires. If you want to jump in a cold shower, your body's like, fuck no. But your brain's like, fuck yeah. So you do it. And there are actually a lot of benefits to doing so. First and foremost, it reduces inflammation. It's really good for sore muscles. I, for one, get an insane euphoric energy boost when I get in and out of a cold shower, especially when I get out. Then, again, with the energy boost, it increases my mood, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment. It increases your confidence because you didn't want to do it, and you did it anyway, and now you feel good. And then there's also a scientific aspect of increasing your metabolism by burning brown fat, because your body stores calories in brown fat, and the brown fat is burned by the body once your temperature starts dropping to raise your temperature. So you actually burn calories by exposing yourself to cold showers or ice baths. Number 9, journaling. This is something that I've adopted fairly recently, and I don't know why I didn't do it much sooner, because I actually look forward to it every night, because I'll occasionally, go back to days, especially the days where I was really struggling in my mind, and just see like how I can relive those feelings for a moment, and then skip ahead and start writing my day, like my current journal entry. And it just helps me realize that no matter how shit it was, I got through it. So yeah, I write in my journal every evening and just basically document what happened throughout my day, how I felt during the day, and my thoughts. Then I'll also write a few goals for the next day. So, for example, record this video was one of my goals. And then this boosts emotional intelligence, because if you're able to analyze your feelings and your thoughts and just put that down on paper and just kind of break it down, you'll be able to see why you're feeling that way. And then you'll also be able to solve the issue if you ever do feel that way in the future. So it just makes you really in tune with your feelings, which overall will improve your mental health. If you're able to break down what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and how to solve it, you'll just be able to unravel a bunch of shit in your brain. So definitely, I would advise and recommend that you start journaling, because I thought it was a bunch of hocus pocus for fucking years, dude. Like, I did not, like, I thought it was corny, but like I said, I look forward to it every night, especially on crazy days, because like dreams, like when you when you have a fucking crazy dream, write that shit down, because you will forget, unless it's like, I don't know, you probably have those dreams where it's just so fucking like vivid and crazy that it just like leaves an imprint on you for the rest of your life. Like there are a couple dreams like that still stick with me to this day, years later. But anyway, it also, again, aids in achieving goals. If you're writing down your goals in your journal, you can look at your journal, just kind of track, oh, yes, the me in the past wanted me to do this, so do I let myself down, or do I fucking do it? I fucking do it. So, aids in achieving goals. And like I said, it identifies negative thought patterns and behavioral patterns. If you were constantly, say you ate some shit food, and then the next day you're like, oh, I'm so depressed, blah, 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 and then you're good the next day, and then, oh, you eat some shit food, and then you say, you'll be able to see, like, negative behavioral patterns, and then that kind of ties to how you're feeling, like, thought-wise and everything. So it's another way of looking at your life. And then it increases your confidence by seeing and tracking this progress. It's just a real good sense of accomplishment by being able to recognize your problems, diagnose them, and solve them. And just being able to see how you progress, especially, like, because I also will write down, like, my measurements for, like, my muscles and stuff, and just being able to see, like, there is some growth there, even though I don't immediately see it. Like, it feels really good. It increases your confidence. Number 10. This one has been the most impactful on my life. For the boys watching this is the most important. If there were any of the 10 that I would suggest you try out, it is definitely this one. So, this is the most impactful element of monk mode. It has completely changed me as a person. So, semen retention. Let me just kind of break this down. Semen retention, there are a couple different ways to go about it. There's the easy version, which is no fap. Basically, just don't watch porn, don't masturbate. Then there's semen retention, the kind of middle ground. You, again, don't release your seed under any circumstances for a period of time. Whether it's, no masturbation, no ejaculation during sex. And then what's really crazy, too, is I've become so in tuned with my body that if I do start having like a wet dream during, like a erotic dream, I will prevent myself from actually having a wet dream while in my dream. It's insane. Then there's also brahmacharya, which is probably the extreme version. It's where it's actually practiced by monks in India. They withhold from any, I wouldn't say contact with women, but any sort of like feminine stimulation. So it's a bit extreme for me, but it is a practice that is practiced by monks. So that's like the very extreme part. But the immediate benefits of semen retention for me is you'll notice within, I would say, 3 days to a week, you'll immediately start feeling fucking awesome. Like, you'll start radiating power. And it raises your testosterone. Like, if you're not just, spurting your life energy, your semen all over your sheets every single day, sometimes multiple times a day if you're anything like I was, you'll notice you'll have a lot of sexual energy. You'll feel really horny is one way of putting it, but you'll also just have all this energy. Like, you'll just want to do stuff. So you'll have a huge increase to motivation by proxy with more testosterone. You'll have more energy. You'll have a lot more confidence. And then your libido will be fucking out of this world. And just overall will put you in a much better mood. And being in a better mood helps me have deeper relationships with people. It makes me want to actually connect and learn about a person, because not only am I more confident and have more motivation, more energy, but it just makes it easier to talk to people. And then if I'm just in a good mood, like I just feel euphoric. So I just want to understand people. Like it's kind of hard to explain, but I wasn't always a social person. So I was a lot of most of my life actually I didn't really fucking care about people. So, but ever since I started this self-help journey, I've actually really wanted to understand like how people work. And if you think about it too, like yesterday I was just sitting at a traffic light just kind of looking and scanning everyone in their cars, and I was like, everyone that I'm looking at has a life that I know nothing about. Like they have a favorite food, they have a favorite vacation spot, they have friends and family, like they probably have traumatic experiences, they probably have really cool stories, and like people were just, there's just so much out there. So just, I don't know, that kind of, your brain just changes. Like I am nowhere near the person I used to be. So deep relationships and connections with people in a nutshell. Then sexual transmutation. I'm a big fan of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and he actually touches on this in chapter 11. And he just kind of highlights the art of using your sexual energy and putting it into your craft or your work in a sense. Because if you think about it, masculine energy is the creative energy. So women, this is pseudoscience. This is bro science. So I'm not a scientist or anything of the matter, but this is how I've connected the dots in my mind. Men overall have a shorter lifespan than women, which is weird because genetically we are chemical factories. Men produce testosterone and whatnot. Women are more estrogen based. The fundamentals of what makes us different are our sex organs. So women, this is actually pretty interesting, are born with all of the eggs they'll ever produce in their life. Like once they're born, they already have all of their eggs. So they're cyclical, like periods. Once a month they'll have an egg, they'll release it, and it's just once they get to a certain age, they go through menopause and they no longer have their cycle. Men, we don't have a cycle. We just fucking, especially if you're anything like I was at 16, 17, 18, just spraying your life force, your life energy, your creative masculine energy everywhere. This like it's what creates life. So you can't just like spray your life energy without consequence. So this is what I believe is one of the reasons why men have a lower lifespan than women, aside from men just doing dumb shit, fucking skateboarding off roofs and skydiving and just crazy stuff that men do to conquer shit. That's what we do. But masculine energy is creative energy. If you channel that sexual energy and put it into something that you create, aside from watching porn and jerking off while taking a shit or something stupid, like if you actually channel that energy into something productive, you will achieve crazy results. Then an honorable mention. This is a bonus because I love you guys. Fasting. This is something that I have never really given a thought to until last week, the week before. And since I'm trying to bulk, I'm trying to meet a fitness goal, I'm trying to gain weight, so I don't fast that much. So intermittently I'll fast. Intermittent fasting. So if you're unfamiliar with what fasting is, it is not eating anything that has calories for a period of time. So currently I'm on a fast. It's now 12:30. I actually need to fucking go soon, but it's 12:30. I have not eaten anything. I've had black coffee because there's no calories, and then I've had water. And you may be thinking, like, why the fuck would you do this? Back in the day, when there weren't Wendy's and McDonald's, you can just go and get a double bacon cheeseburger. Men actually had to go out and hunt for their food. So we have a primal instinct in us to have a energy that's fueled by hunger. So if you have to work for your food to get I'm going to use that as a metaphor. So if you have to hunt for your food, you will work harder because it's life or death, basically. We still have that in us. So work, why I'm fasting now, I had to put all this together. I have to record it and then I'm going to edit it. So I'm not eating because I'm using that primal instinct to accomplish this, because I have a lot of energy right now, because I'm hungry. I need to hunt. I need my food, my prey. I need to get it. So if you think about it, there is a lot of garbage food out there nowadays, especially in the Western world, United States, Western Europe. Super high in carbs, really high in sugar, just really not good for you. So there's kind of a science to it. Obviously, when you eat, your body breaks down the food and your blood sugar rises. Your body actually releases tryptophan when it breaks down protein, which makes you tired. If you've ever had Thanksgiving turkey, eating a big ass meal for Thanksgiving, I feel like most people will take a nap afterwards. I usually take like 2 naps for Thanksgiving because I eat so fucking much. And then you also release serotonin when you eat too. And these all make you tired. So, by not eating, you're not exposing yourself to this. So your body it's running lean. And you can accomplish a lot. And again, I'm still kind of new to this concept. I don't do it every single day. I do it when I need to get a lot of work done. And it works. It's fucking crazy. And yeah, those are the 10, technically 11 things that I use for my monk mode. If you want to improve your life, I guarantee you that applying some, if not all of these elements in your life for at least 30 days, it will change your life, one way or another. I guarantee it. If it doesn't, let me know. Whether it's a comment below or add me on Instagram @Rampage. And if you do try it out and you do like it, please let me know. I want to know how it affected your life, and if it does improve your life, again, I want to know that. Like, it makes me feel good helping people out, so please let me know. Again, leave me a comment here, or add me on Instagram and send me a DM or comment on something. I'll see it, and I will most likely respond. So, yeah, that's the end of this video. And last note, I will have a community of success-driven individuals known as the Tyrant Empire. Yeah, we're kind of rebranding that a little bit. So it's going to be, again, a community of success-driven individuals looking to conquer their lives in all aspects. It's coming soon. Depending on when you're watching this, it may already be out. So go to my Instagram. You'll know for sure if it is or not. But as of now, it's coming soon. So if you want exclusive free access, it's going to be free for a limited time. So act quick. Follow me on Instagram. That's where I will drop the information. And then, obviously, I'm sure I'll let you know in future videos. But if you are at all interested in joining my private network, we have a shit ton of stuff planned. Go follow me. But I do appreciate you watching, if you're still watching this far. And if there's any topics you want me to cover, let me know, one way or another. God bless you. Have a good day.